Hello dear student, hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to discuss about 4th June newspaper analysis. So dear student, first important news is Royal Challengers rule. So you need to know which team win the IPL match. So there are PCS exam, they might be asked about that. Okay, so this is also an important message. Kohli after so many year, okay, so first time win. So sometime also after repeated failure you'll get the success. Okay, so you'll have to keep patience. So next we'll see about Ladakh get new policy on quota and domicile status. So non-Ladakhi must stay in Union Territory for 15 years to be considered domicile. So 80% of government job likely to be reserved for the ST. A third Hill Council seat to be reserved for the women. That means 1/3 of the seat reserved for women. Okay. So after the removal of Article 370, so there is a protest going on in the Ladakh. So amid demand by the Ladakh civil society seeking constitutional safeguard for the region, so center notified new policy on reservation, language and domicile. Domicile means you are the resident of that state, and composition of Hill Council for Ladakh. Ladakh became a union territory in 2009 after scrapping the Article 370. So the notification paved the way for 85% reservation of resident of Ladakhi in government job. For other resident including children of the central government officials to be considered domicile, they will have to stay in the Ladakh for 15 years. Okay? So in a first third of the hill seat in Hill Council have to be reserved for the women. That means we have to reserve 1/3 of the total seat in the Hill Council to the women on the rotation basis. So official language will be English, Hindi, Urdu, Bhoti and Purgi. So notification of Union Territory Ladakh Reservation Regulation 2025, which amend the Jammu Kashmir Reservation Act 2004 in Ladakh context. Okay? So total percentage of reservation shall not no case exceed 85% excluding reservation economically weaker sections. Okay? The total jobs in the UT now stands 95%, one of the highest in the country. Meghalaya is having 85% reservation, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. Arunachal Pradesh is also given 80% reservation. So you can see in northeast, so most of the state they are having reservation more than 80% because of significant tribal population. So next is it is a very important news. So Kerala police to drop Hema panel case. So before discussing, let's discuss about Hema panel. So the Kerala industry is called Malayalam industry. So in Kerala filmy industry, so there is a allegation that there is a sexual exploitation by the those who are influential producer, those who are influential people in the industry by so because of that government appointed panel name is Hema panel, and the finding of Hema panel was quite shocking. So they reveal how favor and casting couch is going on in this Malayalam industry, Malayalam filmy industry. So because of that there are so many people, women, they come out and speak. So because of that they started an investigation, but later after some time, despite having repeated request adjournment, so they are not appearing for giving any evidence or further information. So because of that police has no other option but to drop the case. So Kerala police has decided to drop the cases that emerged from the K. Hema committee finding on the sexual exploitation and misogyny in the Malayalam film industry. The move follow the inability of the special investigations team to gather sufficient evidence compounded by non-cooperation of the survivor. However, the probe into the nearly 70 other cases are still on. So these charge sheet have been filed, nearly 25 cases. The prominent figure include MLA M. Mukesh have been named in the charge sheet. Okay? So this is a important issue. So you need to know about whenever you have to write about sexual harassment at workplace, you need to comment about the Hema panel report. So Hema panel report about the sexual harassment in the Malayalam industry. And dear student, to get this PDF, simply scan this QR code and join our application. In application there is a section called Infographics. You can simply get this PDF from there. Okay. So next is 20% vacancies in UP police to be reserved for Agniveer. So Uttar Pradesh cabinet on Thursday approved a proposal to provide 20% reservation to the Agniveer direct recruitment in the state police force. The policy will continue come into force in August 2026 after Agniveer first batch complete their 4-year tenure in the armed forces. Already we have a people who are quite talented, who are quite experienced in the armed forces. So they can be employed in the state government police job. So objective is to ensure meaningful post service employment opportunity for them. He said that the seat will be reserved for recruitment of firemen and constables in the main force, as well as constable in the provincial armed constabulary and mounted units. The 20% of the unreserved seat will be reserved for the general category Agnivir candidate, and same apply to the other backward class, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Okay, so it's a good thing. And dear student, you can join our daily answer writing program. It is completely flexible, so either you can write 2 questions per day, or you can write 10 question per week, or you can write full length test, that is 20 question in 14 days. And all our copy are evaluated by those who have written the multiple UPSC mains and interview, and also selected candidate also. So special offer, it is given 50% discount, so first few students, so please join and master in the answer writing program. So next we will see year round action needed to tackle the air pollution, said by the Chief Minister of Delhi. So Delhi, we have seen instances before winter, so everyone started their action. So because of that, Delhi at that time were not able to control the pollution. But to ensure proper control of the pollution, we need to act throughout the year. It is not only during the time of pollution. Okay, so that is what it is talking. So Rekha Gupta unveil an anti-pollution roadmap for capital that focus on the dust control. So focusing on the dust control, EV adoption, AI monitoring, and urban greening. So talking about won't implement the odd even scheme of the Aam Aadmi Party. So Thursday underline the continuous round the year effort needed to curb the pollution in the national capital. Speaking at the press conference after launch of the air pollution mitigation plan, so so duty bound to provide clean air to the people of Delhi, emphasizing that air pollution has direct impact on the health and well-being of the citizen. Yes, 6 lakh people in India are died because of health pollution. Dear student, each and every day I'll give you 5 to 6 tasks, so you have to complete after completion of this video, and it is my guarantee you'll get 30 to 40 marks in the examination. It is my guarantee. Just follow that and make a note of it and read that. So you'll find this question in your examination. So tech driven approach, so multifaceted action plan, focus on the 8 key area, combining technological intervention with strict implementations to combat dust pollution, and government will deploy 200 mechanical road sweeper, electric litter picker, and 300 water tanker, and 20 dump vehicle. The anti-smoke gun will be mandatory for all high-rising building. जो है, these effort will be made monitor using GPS camera and night time operation plan to avoid traffic disruption. So ensure stricter enforcement, and AI-based system will be monitor registered construction site and issue automated notices and penalty for dust violation. SMS alert will be sent to end live vehicle owner in the neighboring states to create awareness. ठीक है. So EV charging stations, to support the shift to the electric vehicle, the government will rapidly expand EV charging network across the country, so that people will have a trust towards the EV. Why people are not adopting EV? Because they are not adopting EV, they don't find it easy to charge their EV vehicle. ठीक है. Pollution under the control center across the city will be upgraded and audited twice. So in a push for urban greening, she announced that tree plant drive under the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam campaign, sort of 70 lakh sapling would be planted across the city starting the Wednesday, which mark the World Environmental Day. So 5th June we celebrate as World Environment Day, 5th June. So you need to remember about 5th June is World Environment Day. So dear student, please write on the comment box why 5th June we celebrate as a Environment Day. What are the reason for that? Write in the comment box. From November 1 this year, the BS6 CNG and electric light, medium and heavy good vehicle will be permitted entry into the Delhi. So next is government has set a target of completely remove the waste landfill at Okla. Okay? You might be seen about the landfill site in Okla, and Bhalswa by December 2027 and Gazipur by September 2028. The existing waste to energy plant in Okla will be expanded from the current capacity of around 2000 tons per day to 3000 per day. So you need to know all these things. So there might be question you can write. So there is a waste to energy plant that is located in the Okla. We need to upgrade that. And next is waste to energy plant with a capacity of 3000 tons per day will be set off in Narela and Bhavana by November 2028. So you need to know all these things. So these are very important statistics. I'm just putting them into a box. Please note down all these things, whatever in the box that is important for your mains. So these are data, so no need to go anywhere. In paper you will get everything. It is my guarantee, be that prelims, be that mains. I will teach you how you are going to use these things for your answer writing prelims. So dear student, you can talk to me in Saturday and Sunday podcast. For that, simply scan this QR code and join our Telegram. So dear student, you can join our Dronacharya mentorship. Here we'll guide throughout the year-long mentorship. It will include your answer writing prelims test series. We'll also provide the daily targets, and at the end of the day we'll provide a summary video of the daily targets as well as notes, so that no need to worry about note making and missing FOMO. You'll avoid the FOMO. You'll have one-to-one mentorship. You can also have group mentorship. Okay. So next, PM to launch project to restore degraded land in the Aravalli range. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi will officially launch a massive project to restore degraded land in the Aravalli mountain range on June 5th, because June 5th is Environmental Day. Okay, so this is what called green wall project. So Modi ji plant sapling in the ridge area of South Delhi, part of the mountain range stretching from 700 km from Gujarat to national capital. So if there is a question, Aravalli ranges from Gujarat to Delhi na. So it is kilometer is 700 km from here. You will get the question, but we don't recognize these things. So this can be a good question na. The Chief Minister of Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat will participate in launch project. Source said that thousands of nursery will plant there. So it is called Green Aravalli project. It is called Green Aravalli project. So next, Bihar ref case, 2 medical officials suspended as opposition mount the pressure. This is a very heinous incident. So whatever maybe the language used to condemn, it is very less. Dekho what happened. There is a poor girl from the scheduled caste background. So that the girl age 11 was raped and found with nearly 20 knife wound in Muzaffarpur in May 26. She died at the Patna hospital on 1st June after waiting ambulance for 5 years. Just imagine how insensitive the doctor of that hospital. First case, those who rape such a girl, they are insensitive person. They are not human. But what about this educated inhuman person? They don't even concern to allow this girl to take proper treatment. Okay. So next you can give this incident, example of this incident, how careless the administration nowadays. So next is Karnataka to take up the Almaty Dam dispute with Pradhan Mantri. So dear student, you need to understand Almaty Dam location. Almaty Dam is located on the which river and its origin, and which it is draining with what is a tributary or distributary. Everything you need to know about Almaty Dam. So that means whenever anything is in conflict, so it is important for your prelims. Okay, this is your homework. So Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister, she will seek time with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Jal Shakti Ministry to discuss the issue of Almaty Reservoir across the Krishna River. देखो अभी दी दिया ना. It is given already in Krishna River in view of objection raised by the Maharashtra government over the raising dam height. देखो कर्नाटक को क्या होना, डैम का हाइट बढ़ाना है, बट महाराष्ट्र उसको अपोज करता है. सो Maharashtra CM Devendra Fadnavis written to the CM of Sitarama expressing concern that raising height of dam could lead to the flooding in the Maharashtra, Singli and Kolhapur district. So you need to remember why they are opposing, which district they are going to flood. So they can pick this statement and ask in the prelims, or in mains you can write interstate river water dispute. This is a classic case of interstate river water dispute. You need to understand why we are reading which section. Dekho, if you start writing everything on static, that will not going to fetch you good marks. The moment you give some dynamic fact, current happening, so that will give you good marks. The evaluator, they generally read the newspaper on a daily basis, but they don't read all the standard book like Lakshmikant. So the moment you linked all the incident with the current affair, they'll understand better and they'll realize that you are a good student, so you'll get the good marks. So the Fadnavis letter is shocked. So as for the Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal order, Krishna can Karnataka can increase the height of the Almaty Dam to 524 meter. Okay, but this letter has come as a shock to the us. This Maharashtra had never raised objections to this project till now. The Maharashtra, देखो जो कृष्णा वाटर डिस्प्यूट ट्राइब्यूनल के हिसाब से वी कैन इंक्रीज द हाइट टू 524, बट वाई महाराष्ट्र इज रेजिंग द ऑब्जेक्शन, दैट इज द क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज बिफोर महाराष्ट्र नेवर रेज दिस ऑब्जेक्शन. ठीक है, सो दैट इज व्हाट द कंसर्न अबाउट कंसर्न रेज बाय द डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ कर्नाटक. देन भू भारती ए लैंडमार्क लॉ टू find lasting solutions to the land dispute. So Karnataka CM, so describing Telangana Bhu Bharti record of land right act is a historic and landmark legislation in Indian history. in India, land record is a dispute, constant source of dispute. Because of that, lot of dispute. Even the factory industry is not established in India because of this dispute, because you don't know who is the conclusive owner of that land. To tackle that, the Telangana launched this Bhu Bharti Yojana. So aim to survey the farmer land, clear identification of boundary, and address all land ownership disputes. So once we have demarcation, let's say this boundary belongs to X, so this can be recorded. In case of dispute, you can simply see that. Next is Bhu Bharti survey pilot project in Mugul Madu village problem. So ambitious project was launched in the presence of ministry. ठीक है, demonstration of the drone added surveys. Here we can use the drone to take image how the size of the land belongs to X. So that image can be used to settle any kind of disputes. So next is Supreme Court permit animal sacrifice for Eid and Wur at Bishalgarh Dargah. ठीक है. सो बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ऑन थर्सडे अलाउ द एनिमल सैक्रिफाइस ड्यूरिंग द ईद उल जुहा, जिसको हम बकरीद बोलते हैं, एंड उर्स एनिवर्सरी ऑफ द सेंट सेलिब्रेशन एट द दरगाह लोकेटेड विद इन द प्रेसिंक्ट ऑफ विशालगढ़ फोर्ट इन महाराष्ट्र कोल्हापुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट. ठीक है. So authority, the ban was based on the provision of the Maharashtra Ancient Monument and Archaeological Site Remain Act. So dear student, it is your homework to study about Ancient Monument, इसको बोलते हैं अमासार, Ancient Monument Archaeological Site Remain Act. I think 1976 ऐसे कुछ होगा. तो just read that and make a note of it. ठीक है, because it is very essential for protection of all archaeological remains. So there is a if it is a archaeology, let's say this is Taj Mahal, so 100 meter within that archaeological site, no construction activity is allowed. ठीक है. So there is a buffer zone as well. So you need to read that for UPSC perspective. You will get lot of insights. ठीक है. So they can be asked question in future also. So next, which prohibit the slaughtering of animal and bird on the premises of protected monuments. तो जो archaeological site and ancient monument act, it doesn't allow any killing of any animal within this the compound. So next, premises of a protected monument in 1998. So Aurangabad bench judgment prohibit the animal sacrifice in public. ठीक है. But here it is they argue that the sacrifice is carrying out in a private land. So Tamil Nadu government approached the apex court against the Madras High Court stay the VC vice chancellor appointment. So Tamil Nadu government on the Thursday approached Supreme Court against the Madras High Court stay on the 9 act related to appointment of vice chancellor on the state university. देखो वाइस चांसलर जो होते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी का हेड होते हैं, एंड वाइस चांसलर को कौन अपॉइंट करते हैं? जनरली गवर्नर अपॉइंट करते हैं. बट इन तमिलनाडु देयर इज टसल गोइंग ऑन दैट इंस्टेड ऑफ गवर्नर इट इज द सीएम हु इज ट्राइंग टू अपॉइंट द वाइस चांसलर. जनरली इट इज द कन्वेंशन फॉर द गवर्नर टू अपॉइंट. सो हाई कोर्ट हैज ऑर्डर द स्टे डिस्पाइट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन अप्रैल 8 judgment invoking the power under article 142 of the constitution to deem that bill were assented by the state governor. देखो क्या हुआ था मैं बताता हूँ. तमिलनाडु में बहुत सारे बिल पास करके रखे थे, बट वो गवर्नर ने उनको असेंट नहीं दिए विदाउट कोई रीज़न देने की वजह से, बट वो कीप पेंडिंग करके रखे थे. तो तमिलनाडु ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट में केस फाइल किए थे, एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर दिए कि इट इज़ नॉट राइट इन ए पार्लियामेंट्री और इन डेमोक्रेसी टू keep pending the bill that is passed by the democratic elected government. So Supreme Court used under article 142, that is Supreme Court can make decree order that is to ensure complete justice. So it is said that under article 142 Supreme Court can make any order, judgment, decree to ensure complete justice. So dear student, it's your homework to read about article 142. So because a lot of occasion they are asking article 142 in UPSC prelims as well as or mains में you can also write, because this is against the separation of power, because you cannot, Supreme Court cannot issue order. देखो it's against separation of power. The next is doctrine of repugnancy. So High Court vacation bench has stayed the amendment in an order May 21 on the ground that UGC regulation would prevail over the state legislation by virtue of doctrine of repugnancy. Doctrine of repugnancy क्या होता है? Doctrine of repugnancy क्या होता है? अगर मान लीजिए कोई law passed by union government versus law passed by the state government. In that case, it is the union government that is prevail, not the state government. State government will not prevail over the central government. This is what called doctrine of repugnancy. That means any law passed by the state government, it should be in sync with the state government. Like any law passed by the state government should be in sync with the union government laws. ठीक है, मतलब जो पार्लियामेंट का लॉ जो पास करे उसको वायलेट नहीं करना चाहिए. सो यूजीसी लॉ इज पास बाय द पार्लियामेंट, सो इट शुड बी द स्टेट लॉ शुड बी इन सिंक विद द लॉ ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. ओके. So next we'll see. So police dropped the 21 HEMA panel cases. Already we have discussed that. So next is the Jammu Kashmir Lieutenant General struck 3 government employee over terror link. So there are so many, there are few employees who are involved in they are having terror linkage. They have supported directly or indirectly in the terror activities. So they have been suspended under which article? So it is the article of 113. So article 113 of the Constitution which allow Article 113 of the Constitution which allow the dismissal without inquiry in interest of the security. So how they have involved? So they have involved, employee are jailed and accused of ferrying weapon for terrorist and providing logistic support to the terrorist. So in a state, state government employee, we should not tolerate them even if there is any sort of doubt also. So this is a very good initiative. Anil Kumble accept a new role as a forest wildlife ambassador. So former Indian cricket team captain Anil Kumble, who was recently appointed ambassador of the Karnataka Forest Department for wildlife conservation. Just read it, you will understand it. Okay. Because sometimes they ask who is ambassador in small examination, so you need to know that. Kerala and the central government agree for Sabarimala rail project. So that project aim to connect with the Sabarimala so that devotee can easily reach the Sabarimala. So next is Irina build the world largest ship called at Bijinjam. So dear student, देखो this ship name is MSC Irina, known as biggest container vessel in the world, operated by Swiss bank. वो matter नहीं है. You need to know about this name MSC Irina. So they can ask question, this storm recently seen in news related to what? MSC Irina is the biggest vessel. ठीक है. So this is operated by, वो इतना important नहीं है. Reach the outer anchorage of Bijinjam International Seaport. So you need to understand at what location Bijinjam is present, what is the capability. So you need to study something about Bijinjam. So I have already given you a port list of the port. We'll see after that. So just let me complete fast. Okay, so I think you can see about the MSC Irina. It is size is tonnage capacity कितना है 24,000 tons. ठीक है. Then it is shipping container. So I think its size is given here. So port. So Irina massive, it is like 400 length इसका 400 meter है and 61.3 meter beam. So it's a very big vessel. So the port the port of Bijinjam handle a total around 7.2 lakh tonnage container after trial run and subsequent operator began at the port. In current financial year it is managed to handle 2.2 lakh tonnage. So here I have given the list of all major port of India. Okay? So you can just go through it. Scandala port. So just have remember. They can ask from arrange from north to south, arrange from north south. So you need to know about all these ports. Okay? चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. The next is transfer of Kurla dairy land parcel for Dharavi project get government note. So recently we are recently government started a Dharavi land project. So Dharavi is the largest slum in the Asia. So we need to rehabilitate them. For their rehabilitation we get a land in the Kurla dairy land parcel. There will exchange and form I'm just reading it out. So the Thursday approved the 8.5 acre parcel of land in the Kurla to Dharavi redevelopment project, a joint venture between the Adani Group and Maharashtra government to redevelop Asia's largest slum cluster home to the 60,000 families. So in meeting chairby, so amendment to the agreement to transfer 8.5 hectare of land owned by Dairy Development Department were approved. The land is likely to be used for construction rehabilitation of our Dharavi resident. So ठीक है IIC. So next just read it. Yeah, you need to read that. You need to understand which fort is located where. It is your homework. Okay. So IIC researcher develop artificial metal based nanozyme that prevent excessive blood clotting. देखो whenever your hand or leg cut by unfortunately by mistake, so there is a severe bleeding. After that, because of blood clotting, your blood bleeding is stopped. But there is some internal chemicals that react because of that clotting happen. But same thing not happen in all cases. ठीक है. So all these things it is talking about. Researchers at IIC have developed a artificial metal based nanozyme that potentially used to clamp down on the abnormal blood clotting caused by condition like pulmonary thermoembolism. ठीक है। पीईटी लाइक जो जैसे हम था ना कोविड टाइम पे जब हम वैक्सीन लेते थे क्या होता था, ब्लड क्लॉटिंग हो जाता था, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट सो मेनी पीपल आर डाइड। सो नाउ बाय यूजिंग दिस टेक्नोलॉजी वी कैन प्रिवेंट द एक्सेसिव ब्लड क्लॉटिंग सो दैट वी कैन सेव लॉट ऑफ पीपल। सो अकॉर्डिंग टू IAS, अंडर नॉर्मल सर्कमस्टांसेस व्हेन ब्लड वेसल इंज्योर स्पेशली ब्लड सेल कॉल्ड प्लेटलेट्स गेट एक्टिवेटेड एंड क्लस्टर टुगेदर अराउंड द वेसल्स टू फॉर्म ए प्रोटेक्टिव ब्लड क्लॉट। जब आपका हाथ कट जाता है तो क्या होता है, ब्लीडिंग होने के बाद प्लेटलेट आने के बाद वो क्लॉट बना देते हैं ना, दिस प्रोसेस नोन एज ब्लड क्लॉटिंग कैस्केड, और इसको बोलते क्या, हेमोस्टेसिस इन्वॉल्व। ठीक है। सो हाउएवर दीज सिग्नल्स, ठीक है, समटाइम गो हेयर इन दी कंडीशन लाइक पीईटी और डिजीज लाइक COVID-19, ऑक्सीडेटिव स्ट्रेस लेवल ऑफ टॉक्सिक रिएक्टिव ऑक्सीजन, whenever there is anyone infected with COVID-19, so there is a high chances that blood clotting happen in their vein. So because of when there is a blood clotting, so because of this blood clotting majority of the death during COVID vaccination happened. ठीक है। so this can be tackled by using this nano, here it is given the nanozyme. ठीक है, nanozyme can be used to prevent this blood clotting during vaccination or such kind of drive so that we can protect lot of people. Let's see the last page. so why do volcano erupt? so volcanism क्यों होती है? so inside the earth there is a molten material. ठीक है। so when molten material find a way to come out that erupt violently, so that led to the volcanic eruption. Just have a look of all these things. so you need to map this mountain Pinatubo, then Mount Uturunchu in Bolivia. so you have to map this location of the of this mountain. ठीक है। and you know about volcanic eruption, just read it out, you'll understand it. ठीक है। so here you need to also map this location, in the drone view of the Korund river. It is the largest salt pan of the Europe. You need to locate this map also and remember this name also. so this is an interesting bacteria found at Rajgiri hot spring lake, so antimicrobial activity. so while scientists have determined that hot spring around the world are unexplored reservoir of antibiotic producing bacteria, the hot spring of India are not well studied driven by their their putative value, and research at the Vellore Institute of Technology in Tamil Nadu recently examined Rajgiriya हॉट स्प्रिंग लेक इन नालंदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट। जो हॉट स्प्रिंग होती है उसमें क्या होता है, बहुत सारे बैक्टीरिया होते हैं जो एंटीबायोटिक प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, दैट वी कैन यूज फॉर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एंटीबायोटिक्स ऑल्सो, बट प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वी नॉट येट स्टडीड ऑल देम। द बैक्टीरिया कॉल्ड thermophiles meaning heat lover, they thermophils they are called heat lover, been known to tolerate 45 to 70 degrees Celsius of heat. Such high temperature can give human skin burn, but such environment may seem hellish people, and the thermophilic bacteria see an opportunity place on the earth where temperature like this, including hot spring, deep sea thermal vent and cosmos pile, offer a mineral rich neighborhood with relatively few competing life form. To gain and edge something, thermophil bacteria produce potent antibiotic as a weapon to neutralize their competitor. So they produce some antibiotic to neutralize their competitor, so that can be utilized for generation of antibiotic. This is exactly why scientists have deemed hot spring around the world to be unexplored mines of antibiotic producing bacteria. For example, thermophils isolate from the hot spring of different regions. South Arabia has been found to produce variety of potent antibiotic effective against the germ positive pathogenic bacteria. ठीक है। So hot spring of India. So next it is saying that already we have seen that hot spring of India is not much. So exploring the microbial diversity, people take holy bath in the hot spring because they believe that it will cure, generally it will cure because of this antibacterial property. So what is important for us? So we know that this bacteria is good. If you conduct this study, so we can understand that their antimicrobial property, so that can be used for development of antimicrobial, you can say antibiotics. Now last decade we don't have any antibiotic developed, and there is a rising antimicrobial resistance also. So by understanding that, we can counter that as well as provide new medicine. So this article is talking about all these things, so you just read it out, you'll find it. Okay, so Gukesh Trump Arjun jump to the second, just read it out, because nowadays UPSC are asking a lot of sports related question. Time of great opportunity for USA and India, say second lady Usha Vance. So नॉर्मल चीज़ें हैं, कोई एक्स्ट्रा चीज़ें तो है ही नहीं, पढ़ लेना. सो साउथ कोरिया लेफ्ट लीडर विन द प्रेसिडेंसी. सो साउथ कोरिया सेंटर लेफ्ट लीडर नाम है ली जॉय मुओंग. Lee Jae-myung held voter great decision because win recently the presidential election. So with 96.7% of the total ballot counted overnight, so it is mathematically impossible, and voter turnout is around 80%. So this is highest in the 1997. You need to remember that this and president is elected. So dear student, to get this infographics edition, simply scan this QR code and join our application. There you will find it. Okay. So next is GIA developed new system to grade the lab grown diamond. So dear student, diamond is produced in natural because of intense heat, intense pressure, intense temperature, but same thing can be manufactured in the lab, provided we need to provide that condition. So I have given you comparison of naturally occurring diamond versus lab grown diamond. So just go through it, you will understand. So there can be UPSC question on that also. Okay. So continue acceptance and popularity of lab grown diamond. Okay. So diamond it reinforces the fundamental difference between the natural diamond, the lab grown diamond, not just in origin but also emotional endurance value. So just read it, you will understand it, not much. So next important aspect is May oil palm import jump 87% in India to 6-month high. So India import lot of palm oil from the East Asian country. So Indian palm oil import may surge to 6-month high as lower inventory and tropical oil discount to the rival like soya oil and sunflower oil. The higher palm oil and soya import by India, while biggest buyer of the vegetable oil, India is the largest buyer, could support Malaysian palm. So palm oil import surged 87% 6 months. So just understand that India is the largest importer of palm oil. We are import most of the palm oil from Indonesia and Malaysia. So AI gold mine of opportunity comes with foreseeable risk. Yes, AI is, while providing lot of opportunity, it also provides certain risk. So dear student, whenever you are talking about any answer, whenever you are arguing with any essay, you have to take this stance, like it is no doubt it is an opportunity, but as well as it is also having the challenges. Okay. So next Indo-USA trade deal not too distant future, say US Commerce Secretary. So India will receive favorable tariff on a number of manufacturing sector that will provide it an advantage over the rest of the world. One against rubbing USA wrong way by buying armament from Russia. ये हमें सिखाएंगे हम कहाँ से खरीदेंगे. India has put the right person on the other side of the table, which is resulted in much quicker negotiation process. So India and USA recently negotiating for a trade deal so that our tariff rate will be reduced significantly, and India believe that though significant manufacturing capability will come to the India, like we are assembling the iPhone, so India can emerge as a manufacturing hub. But USA is not a reliable partner, always issue, like they have concern about buying weapon from the Russia, buying oil from the Russia. Also we cannot trust them because recently the Operation Sindoor, we saying that they have approved the loan to the Pakistan. So double standards. ठीक है. So government plans to wind down the national polio surveillance network center in India. ठीक है. So government want to remove, or you can say downgrade or reduce gradually the center for surveillance of the polio. So India was declared polio free in 2014 after 3 years no case reported by the wild polio transmission. The gain come after full frontal attack launch on the polio through year of coordination. ठीक है. हमने क्या लॉन्च किया था? ओरल पोलियो वैक्सीन. सो नाउ ओरल पोलियो वैक्सीन जब आप कोई बच्चे को खिलाते हो, एक ड्रॉप ऑफ बूंद जो होता है ना, ज़िंदगी का 2 बूंद, तो आपको पता होगा पोलियो का वैक्सीन आपने भी लिए होंगे. सो बट ओरल पोलियो वैक्सीन में क्या होता है, जो वायरस होती है वो म्यूटेड होते हैं. वायरस जो होते हैं क्रिपल्ड मीन्स जिंदा है बट उसके पास कोई पावर नहीं, एनर्जी नहीं है, बट वो बॉडी के अंदर जाके म्यूटेट करके अगेन पोलियो भी कर सकता है. बट इट इज़ टाइम वी नीड टू रिमूव शिफ्ट फ्रॉम द ओरल पोलियो वैक्सीन OPV टू inactivated polio vaccine. Here the virus is killed, it cannot replicate within our body. So world has here one second, the world has lots of polio still. We need देखो in our neighborhood like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, they are still polio cases are going on. So if you wind down the surveillance network, there might be possible that polio may come back. So we need to have that. And a long time campaigner injectable polio vaccine, so we need to introduce in India in place of oral vaccine. Because मैंने आपको बताया oral vaccine में क्या होगा, मान लीजिए आपने खा ली, वो वायरस जाके replicate आपका बॉडी में भी कर सकता है. So PM flag of the Vande Bharat train between Katra and Srinagar. Now you can travel to the Srinagar through the train, and it will take hardly 3 hours to travel from Katra. Katra means in Jammu and Srinagar. In bus, or you can say bus or by road, it will take around 6 to 7 hours. but now you can travel in 3 hours. So next is you introduce new tech driven system to update the voter turnouts. So before the recent election, there is a controversy that first election commission announced something, let's say 62% of vote, and after at the end of the election, so again announced that 68% result. So because of this rapid increase in 6%, opposition claimed that there is a some sort of negative play or favor by the election commission to political party to remove all sort of whatsoever may be the mindset or the propaganda campaign. So election commission said that it will introduce a new tech driven system where real time updation of the number of voter voting will be done, so that there will be no scope for any manipulation by any political party. So already there is a very good thing, you need to understand, it is called ECI net. So already election commission, they bring all work related to election under a single portal. It is called ECI net, Election Commission of India network. You need to remember that. So next is sulfur cleaning device in coal power plant is not necessary. Dear student, India is having rich in coal, but our coal is having high sulfur content. क्या है? High. Our coal is having high sulfur content. So because of that, when it is burned, it emits lot of sulfur, and sulfur is causing acid rain, lungs problem, all sort of problem. It is creating bronchitis, asthma. So it is also a greenhouse gas. So we need to remove this sulfur from the after we need to clean that sulfur, so that we establish flue gas desulfurization. So 92% of India's 600 coal power plant yet are install the flue gas desulfurization panel. Recommended exemption of 80% which are not major population center. Just I am explaining. देखो इंडिया में कितना टोटल 600 प्लांट है, बट out of that 80% of this plant are located far from the human habitation, where pollution level is not going to impact the people. So what is the point of installing the flue gas desulfurization? This is what they claim by this expert. ठीक है, देखो recent time we have seen that our air quality has been declining all over the India. So because of that, there is stringent norm. We need to establish flue gas desulfurization. So after the gas that is emitting from the chimney, we need to capture that and remove the sulfur, so that there will be no sulfur in the atmosphere. So we prevent the acid rain, we prevent the asthma, we prevent the health problem, everything will sort it out. But problem is that to install that flue gas sulfurization, we need significant investment. We need to have additional space which is not available. So that is the reason the panel says that the thermal power plant that is located very close to the human habitation, they need to be installed, and that are far flung, no need to install that. That is all the crux about all this news. So next is India delegation seeks to sensitize UK lawmaker about Pakistan sponsored terrorists, so that they will not sanction the Pakistan, they will not support Pakistan position in the asking for any sort of loans. Pakistan take loan from the, let's say, IMF, World Bank, and they will fund, that money can be used for buying some weapon from the China, and that can be used against the India. So overall outcome more important than setback, said by the CDS Anil Chauhan. This is what very important for you also. Don't worry about whether you have cleared this prelims or not. So think of long term. You have to clear ultimately the examination. Even if you are not able to clear, or you are not able to get this good marks, so don't worry. Use this time as an opportunity to correct your optional, correct your ethics, correct your GS1. So next attempt you will get very good marks. Even our toppers, this year toppers also passed after 4 repeated failure. You have to learn that. Okay. So motion of impeachment against Justice Verma likely to be during monsoon session. So there is the Yashwant Verma, Allahabad High Court. So the Yashwant Verma posted in Delhi High Court. So there is a fire incident happened in this house. So after that, huge amount of burned cash found in house. After that, Supreme Court transferred the Verma to Allahabad High Court. Later on, there is a committee recommended that yes, there are some uncounted money is available. So because of that, everyone want to start impeachment against the Burmas. Okay, so dear student, your homework is process for impeachment of Judge of High Court, Judge of Supreme Court. How Judge of a High Court is impeached, or how a Judge of a Supreme Court is imposed. You have to study it, note down it, and you need to prepare a mind map of it. Okay, so ठीक है, so we'll move to next topic. So political leader join the devotee at Khir Bhavani temple in the Kashmir. Yesterday we had discussed that, we had a discussion on that. So next, it is a very good thing. Pakistan is spinning scare in narrative in the Brahmaputra water flow. Pakistan is saying that India is a upper riparian state, so India is stopping the flow of Ganga river. So same will happen because China is upper riparian state, so China may block the Brahmaputra flow. So our Hemanta Biswa Sarma ji ne clearly बोले कि in the Brahmaputra river get only 30%, 20 to 30% of its water from the Tibet, and rest it is getting from the northeast. So even if China block, it will be save our Assam from flooding. It will not cause any sort of problem. This is what statement given by he clarified that China has not announced any such move, but even if it happen, it will in fact help in mitigating annual Assam flood. This is a bold statement. ठीक है, the China contribute 30 to 45% of the Brahmaputra total flow, mostly through the glacial melt limited to Tibet. Remaining 65 to 70% is generated in India because of rainfall in Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya. So major tributaries such as Subarnasri, Lohit, Kemeng, Manas, Dhansiri, so ठीक है, Kopili contribute to the additional flow. So Indo-China border, so it is receiving only before this river entering into China, the water is it is 2000 to 3000 meter cube per second, but after it is entering India, it within 1500 to 20,000, 15,000 to 20,000 meter cube for seconds. ठीक है, so rain fed Brahmaputra is not a river, depends on the upstream, it is a rain fed, so even if it is stopped, we are not going to have any problem. ठीक है, so this is a proud moment for India. Indian astronauts space missions to the International Space Station postponed to 10. So June 10. So Indian astronauts name Subhanka Shukla, missions to the International Space Station scheduled to 8, but it is now delayed to. So he will be on board Axiom mission 4 crew quarantine location in the this mission name you have to remember. What is the mission name? Axiom 4 mission. ठीक है, so National Aeronautical is it is a like this mission is launched by NASA USA. So group captain Shukla will be pilot the AX4 and former NASA, so other people also go under that. ठीक है, so you need to know about the mission through which Shukla will be traveled. So it is the SpaceX Falcon 9 Dragon spacecraft, and mission name is Axiom mission. So you need to know that. So there can be question, and Shukla will be the second person to travel the outer space. So first one is Rakesh Sharma G. So next, no contempt if parliament or legislation make law. Supreme Court said that if something is said by the Supreme Court, let's say Supreme Court given an order and later on a law is passed by the parliament, in that case it became regularized, so it is not a contempt. So same thing happened with सालबा जुड़मू क्या था, एक छत्तीसगढ़ ने एक वॉलंटरी पुलिस फोर्स बनाया था जिनको आर्म किए थे ताकि वो दे कैन फाइट द नक्सलिज्म और लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म. लेटर ऑन देयर आर रिपोर्ट ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट वायलेशन बाय दिस सालबा जुडुम और द लोकल पीपल. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट देयर इज अ केस इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट, एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड दैट दिस सालबा जुडुम यूनिट नीड टू बी disbanded and they need to be removed entirely, and then their arms should be given to the their arms should be taken away. But later on the state government passed a law, regularize all the Salva Judum people and appointed them as a part of the state police. So Supreme Court says that when once a state or parliament make a law, so it cannot be considered as a contempt, because the parliament and state legislature, they have the power to make the law, and Supreme Court is not here to make the law. Supreme Court role is to just review the law. ठीक है. So next is building integrated photovoltaic convert building into solar assets. देखो अभी क्या हो रहा है, हमने जैसे हम एक बिल्डिंग बनाई, ये घर बनाया, घर पर हम क्या कर सकते हैं, पूरा का पूरा एवरीवेयर वी कैन यूज इलेक्ट्रिक पैनल, सो दैट each house can be a generator of electricity rather than consumer. So that is what it is talking about entirely. So now we have to achieve 40 gigawatt of rooftop solar plant. So that can be achieved by installing solar panel in the roof, railway platform top, all these things it is talking. So civil service examination read reform. So just read it out. It is talking about you need to reform in the optional, we need to reform in the mains examination. More weightage should be given to the analytical power. So just all these things, no point of explaining that. So why international student matter to the USA? Because stemming from the flow of India China student will affect the STEM research, because most of the people from the China and India, they contribute significant research professional, so that high quality research is going on in the USA, and they are also contributing to the economy. They also promote startup culture, but USA need to understand that. So there are some fact figures, just read it out, you'll understand it. Okay. After Donald Trump coming into power, so Donald Trump promised to that make America great. Say they acting against the Chinese, all foreign students including China. So this article is talking about how it is going to impact. Okay. So a ban, split verdict, and health concern. So dear student, it is talking about two things. First is Indian mustards. Having high. So you can see rapeseed mustard, or now it is called mustard oil, is the third largest edible consumer in India. India is the third largest consumer of the mustard oil. The Food Safety Standard Authority of India prohibit manufacturing sale of blended mustard oil in India. So why Food Safety Standard Authority of India prohibit the blended mustard? Because people adulterate mustards with some other low quality things. Because of that, there is a rising instances of heart disease. So this law aim to control that. As for the Indian food safety law, selling an edible oil mixed with another edible oil permitted, provided the proportion of the oil blended with another oil will be less than 20. Okay. And another Supreme Court judgment, approve grant central government for environmental release of indigenously developed genetically modified Dhara mustard hybrid. So DMH11. So DMH11 is a hybrid variety of mustard seed. So a major ground which two judgment pronounced. So what is the problem with Indian mustard? Indian mustard is extracted having high uric acid content, which is not good for health. And to reduce the if it is not good for health, we need to reduce the uric acid in our mustard. So how we are going to reduce? So one way to reduce is that by blending with other oil. But the Food Safety Standard Authority of India, instead of regulating that, completely ban that, because by allowing that, there is high chances of, instead of blending good oil, they are blending some low quality of oil, and that is going to create health problem. Okay. So next it is talking about recently if we can develop some GM mustard that can reduce the uric acid content to 5% in the mustard, which is good for health. So that is what it is talking about. India is the world largest importer of edible oil. Edible oil import kitna 20.5 billion. So rest you can read it out, you will understand it better. Okay. So here the uric acid reducing property of Dhara mustard hybrid, associated health and economic benefit need to be factor while deciding the approval of GM mustard crop. Because if we are going to cultivate Dhara mustard hybrid, it will reduce the uric acid content to 5%. So that is good for health. So that is the reason these two incident we need to look into in a broader perspective, and it is going to solve the problem. Okay. So next is, so it is already we have discussed about Ladakh problem. So just read it out, you'll understand it. So next is war and talk that is going on in the Ukraine. So both Russia and Ukraine are looking for security guarantee. So Russia-Ukraine war has entered a new phase marked by intensified military attacks and direct negotiation. On the Sunday, on the one hand they are talking on the table, on the back end they are fighting on the field. Okay, why this is happened? Because Russia has a long-standing grievances and future security concern that must be addressed. क्यों क्या हो रहा है? देखो रशिया, ये हो गया आपका रशिया, ये हो गया आपका यूरोप. So Europe and NATO, they are moving eastward. Because of that, Russia is fearing that they might invade the Russia. So this is what called security concern, and Ukraine want credible security guarantee. And Ukraine now it is acting between Russia here and Europe here. So it is facing both the tension in the both sides. So Ukraine want there should be a peace guarantee so that Russia will not attack in the future. So in that case, US can play a crucial role to bring both to the table and ensure that while security of the Russia is ensured and security of the Ukraine also ensured. Okay. So dear student, this is a very good article about what step taken by the government in last 1 year regarding oil and natural gas. So read it out, you'll understand a lot of things. Okay. So India recently became the third largest economy, okay, with 4.3 trillion. So result of decade. So it is talking about all these things. India growth rate is 6.7%. So next is India is now third largest energy and oil consumer, fourth largest refiner of oil, and fourth largest LNG importer globally, with energy demand expecting to grow 3-4 times by 2047. 25% of increasing global demand made from the India. So you know, so whatever I'm, dear student, I'm giving in the works, they are very important for your exam, be that mains, prelims. So note it down. So energy trilemma. So what is energy trilemma? That is availability, affordability and sustainability through a four-pronged approach, that is diversification of sources and supplier, expansion of domestic production and transitions to the renewable energy, and affordability. Dekho, how you are going to write this as a mains answer. Whenever you are talking about anything related to oil, you can say to control or to overcome this problem of oil dependency, government can take step like diversification, expansion. You can use this 4 point and make this a 4 point. Okay, that is what I am saying. Paper in paper everything is given, but you need to identify which one is important for your prelims and which one is important for your mains. I am here to guide you throughout the year and to identify which one is important for your prelims and which one is not important. Okay, so just read it out. It is given lot of things. Okay, I have already put in box, so you'll understand. Okay, so dear student, I think it is already 50 minutes, so we'll have to end this class here. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, and please write your comment, feedback, suggestion, always welcome. So accordingly I'll make the video. Okay, chaliye, bye bye, take care, again we'll meet tomorrow. Jai Hind.